Okay, YouTube, now we're going to start video Power Stroke project part 64. And from where we left off on the last video, I haven't made a video on this truck since 4th of July, I believe. If you remember, I had to remove the bed and drilled all the spot welds out, and then I had to put them all back on, and I think I showed where I got it all lined up, or almost lined up. But what I ended up doing, I've already got them. I ended up taking the bed back off and to get it all welded up, but before I took it off, I went ahead and drilled some holes for some, instead of using screws like I said I was going to, I ended up using just little short 1/4-inch bolts and nuts, because once I got it the bed lined up, which it does line up pretty nicely now, once I got the panels lined up, that is, I clamped it in place one area at a time, and I drilled holes, 1/4-inch holes. Used a 1/4-inch drill and a 1/4-inch bolt tightly fit through it, and I just drilled through both panels and bolted it together. I started at the bottom, then worked my way up, made sure it lined up higher, and then did it one bolt at a time until it all lined up good. And once I got it all lined up and bolted together, I had to pull the bed back off, do all my welding, ground my welds down. As you can see, they're ground down in there. That was kind of hard to get in that corner, but it turned out okay. I need to smooth it out with a little body filler, like you always do welds. And it's also welded. This panel here I did not have to weld. Remember, I didn't break it loose, but up inside of here, I got some welds here. I will smooth that out after I do the rest of my body work and pull this off for a primer. But I'm going to try to get all my major body work done with the bed on the truck. It just makes things easier for me to move the bed around and gives me one more room in the garage and all that. But like I said, I had to pull it back off, weld it up, put it back on, realign it. And now, something we did not do before when we had the bed on it, we have all the bolts in except for that one. I'm going to explain why it's not in there yet. That's what today's video is going to be about. But what I found out, get this out of the way, is once I got all the middle bolts in and bolted down tight, this bed, and I'm dropping stuff, this bed is not as warped as badly as I thought it was. Remember how I said it was warped really bad? And I was having, which that there I'm going to fill in, but that's where I welded in that panel, and it's low. But it made it not so bad. As I pulled the bolts down, it kind of pulled the bed down a lot flatter than it was. Not perfect, but it's going to be less work. It's another good reason. There's a fish hook there. I'd hate to get up in here and get my knees up into it. But that's another good reason to go ahead and have your bed bolted down before you do all the body work. Now, so what we're going to do today, see that bolt hole there? This is part of the new panel that I welded in. Right here. And see how that pulled that down? This metal is either thinner or softer or both than the original metal, because you see, like that bolt, I pulled that bolt down, I pulled that bolt down tight, and it did not bend it any. It's pretty solid. This here, it just kind of sunk the bolt down in there. So I'm going to have to cut that out. Use some thicker metal. I might make like a spacer, a reinforcement. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about once I get it cut out. See, the brace is right here. It's like from here to here. And I'm going to cut this out, make me a replacement panel out of a thicker piece of metal, maybe like 1/8 inch. And I'll show you how I get my square hole in there. And I'm also going to tack weld a spacer to it out of a piece of a round tubing. And I want to make it just tall enough where it bottoms out on the bottom of the brace, and this will sit down flush, and then I'll weld it back in. I would love to be able to do that to all of them, but it's hard to get that. It would be hard to get that spacer inside of the actual braces. And the braces, I mean these guys right here. As you can see, the opening is smaller because this tapers up, and I would need a spacer from there to there. I'm going to do it to this one just because this replacement panel is thin and a softer metal, not as good of metal as the original stuff. But as far as the others go, I could do it to like this one because it doesn't have that taper. I would like to make spacers for all those boats. It would just prevent a lot of crushing of the bed when you have heavy weight in it. That would be a good little trick to do to a truck you're going to work hard, but you don't really want to ruin the bed and have these braces collapse on you. That's what makes a lot of these trucks. If you get behind them, you'll notice the bed will look crooked, you know, be not even with the cab. A lot of it is because they've been hauling heavy stuff like firewood, rock, gravel, stuff like that, and the weight actually crushes those braces. And that'd be something you could do to a truck. So you're going to work it hard, but you want it to look halfway decent. You don't want it to look all twisted and screwed up and everything. You could put some kind of reinforcements in there. But that's what I'm going to do to this one. I'm going to get my tripod mounted up, and I'm going to have to grind this Bondo out of here, cut that out, and that's mostly what this video is going to be about. And plus, just updating you on what I'm going to be doing. So let me get my tripod set up and get to work. Alright, first thing I'm going to do, I'm talking through a little dust mask here, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my die grinder, my cutoff wheel, and cut me a square out. Then I'll go back and get this Bondo out of the way. Shame I gotta cut it all out after I got it head that flat, but what you gotta do to make it right. Make me a thicker piece. I'm going to use this as a pattern. I'm going to lay it on top of my 1/8" metal, and I'm just going to scratch a line around it. I'm also going to scratch this square circle out of here. And I'll have to move the camera around, and I'll show you how I get that square hole. Alright, I found a piece of metal. It's not quite 1/8 inch. A little thinner, but it's a lot thicker than what your 1994 steel would be. It's like 55 thousandths thick. I don't do conversion to fractions on 55 thousandths. I know 1/8 inch is 125, so it's half a 1/8 inch. It's still thicker than what we were working with, and stronger. Plus, when we make the support underneath of it I was telling you about, that's going to make it that much better. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to, I guess this video is kind of about making a small patch panel. And this will show you how easy it is to make pretty much any kind of patch panel that you don't want to buy or can't buy. But I'll take a white paint marker, and here's my old piece I cut out. Scratch a line there, and I'm going to go ahead and scratch a line. I moved a little bit on my square hole here. Maybe a smaller scribe or whatever would be a little easier to get inside there, but I like this paint marker because it's easier to see. And I'm going to put on my glasses. Before I do that, I need to clamp this piece down. And, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hang on. Now, we need to, I'm going to go ahead and drill the hole. And what I'm going to do is, let's see, we're going to measure this out. This is just I'm just eyeballing this up. Let's see, this is easier than a scale. It's easier to see for me. But, okay, that's 535 thousandths this way, and just by eyeballing it up to the outside of the paint line. And half of 535 thousandths is about 265, 267. Be exact, 267 and a half, isn't it? Something like that. I don't know, I'm not going to take the time to do the exact math, but okay, there's the middle of that. I'm scratching a line here. And now we'll do it this way. Scratch a line there. And now I'm just going to take my center punch, and the wind is blowing that plastic around behind me, which is annoying me. And I have a center punch around here somewhere. I thought I had it with me, and guess what? There it is. Okay. I try to gather up everything before I make the video because I end up wasting a lot of videoing time looking for tools and have to shut the camera off when I don't want to and all that crap. So if you're going to make videos, try to round everything up. Okay, I'm just kind of, that line I scratched each way where the two lines intersect, see like it's a little cross there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but see how it's a little cross right there. I'm just eyeballing this center punch up. Hit it. Actually, I'm a little off. I'm going to hit that again. Yeah, it's a little closer to the center. If you're a little off, you can kind of do it like that. Now I got to clamp it down. I'm going to drill it up to, I believe it's the 1/2 inch mark I need to go. Now I need my glasses. And making sure that's in the camera. The view of the camera, I'm off to the side here. Sorry about that. But I don't feel like moving the camera. I like these step drills for the thin metal. They work pretty nice. I'm just going to keep going until I hit the edge. See, I'm off here a little bit, but that's okay. So I hit the edge of that. Now, I need to go get my square file. That's the one thing I did not have with me, but I know where it's at. So, got to get up the truck bed, get it. Actually, it's not a square file. It's kind of a triangle. This is a threading file. I'm not going to show you exactly what it's for because actually what it's for is cleaning threads on boats. I don't have, yes I do have something with threads. And what a threading file is good for, if you got dirty threads, you can use that corner to do that. Clean up your threads on a boat. A lot of times they stick a boat in a lathe or something and just lay this on here and as a piece turns, you just kind of follow the threads and it cleans up the threads if they get burred up or something. But I'm going to use it to make a square hole. And this works pretty good. It's going to be, matter of fact, before I do that, I'm going to go through the bottom side. The step drill doesn't quite break through. There we go. That'll be a little bit. I'm going to get this closer to the edge too. Take my glasses off for a hand file. It is very, very sticky and humid in here. It's 75% humidity and 81 degrees at only 11:30. It's very humid. I don't have any fans on me right now because they make a lot of noise on a video. So it's really sticky in here. And my glasses are fogging up because of it. Probably won't show you the whole process of, tell you what I'm going to do. To make it a little bit easier, I'm going to see if I've got a bit in my die grinder. It isn't the best bit, but it might work. It would work a lot better if I had opened my hole up a little bigger, I guess. But, plus when I did it on the actual truck bed, it was with a lot thinner metal. What I'm doing here is, I'm taking my die grinder, got a little ball bit on it. I'd rather have a different bit, but I don't feel like changing it out. And I'm just going to work it out this way. It's a lot closer. Take these fogged up glasses off again. There we go. I got a lot more room to move my file here. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world, but it's working. And that way you can get some sharp corners in here. It's really a lot harder on thicker metal though. If you're doing it with just the thin metal like I originally had in bed, it is a lot easier to file this out. But we know why we want this heavy metal in here. Now that it's getting a little bigger, it's getting easier. So because I got more room, my file doesn't get stuck. Up in here. I'm just doing it just one stroke at a time here, no pun intended, because the file is kind of sticking down here. Once you get more room, it's a little easier. Now, see that bolt, carriage bolt it is, and see if it lines up with the square. Bolt falls in, what I'm trying to say. It doesn't take much to get a sweat going in this kind of weather. Oh yeah, we need to really open that up quite a bit. It's getting easier though. There we go. that's looking better. Now that I have more room for my file, getting easier to file it out. Okay, the boat's starting to fall in. I still need to open it up for this right here. Whoops. Don't go too crazy or you'll end up hurting yourself. I'm kind of getting in a hurry because I'm anxious to turn this camera off and turn on a fan. Because it is just so humid in here. There we go. It goes in. A little bit of play. You want some play. It don't have to be a really tight fit. Now, all I got left now, put my glasses on. Oh, I'm going to move this out a little bit. Shut my toolbox. And this is kind of dangerous, but it works. Pick it up with a magnet. And there it is. Now, I'm going to wait for it to cool off. Find me a piece of tubing for that brace I was telling you about, and we'll trim it to fit the bed. Okay, as you can see, I have a washer laid down there, and the reason is, here is our little brace we was talking about, a little spacer. And the reason is because the hole in the actual bed brace is bigger than my spacer, and I didn't want something too big to go here. So we're going to do something. Sorry, I got the camera out of the way again. It's very hard to film with one hand and work with the other. As you can see, that's being very contrary. But that is supposed to sit there, and that's going to be welded together. And what we need, first thing we need to do is we want to see if our panel will fit, and well, I got that on upside down. That goes like that, and I think if we trim to our line, I didn't want to trim to it until I test fitted it. And now what we're going to do, I'm not going to film all of it, but basically what I do is it's a trial and error thing. I'll take this and walk over to my disc sander, trim a little off of this side and that side, test fit it, and try a little more. You do it a little bit at a time, try not to get in a hurry. Much as I would like to get it all done at once, if you get in a hurry you can make it too small, which wouldn't be a big catastrophe because I could fill it in with MIG weld, but I like a good snug fit on something like this. And hopefully the height of my spacer is just right to where this will be level with that, and that will keep it from pulling this down. And I don't want to have to build up body filler to make this level because the boat's going to be pulling down into it. As you can see, there's no Bondo underneath of those bolts, and we don't want that because it's just going to crush the Bondo when you draw the boat down. So I'm going to, just like I said, just take a little bit of time off of this side and that side and keep test fitting it until it fits in a hole. Alright, here's what we come up with. This is what I had planned. I had to add 2 washers to the bottom of it. I cut my tubing there a little bit short, but I should be able to drop this thing in here and it should be about level with table, or the bed floor. At least that's the plan. Let me remember which way it goes in. It goes in only one way, or the bolt won't line up. But yeah, I think. Oh yeah, and as you can see, I went ahead and added some paint to the bottom of it. It's still a little tacky. See how it's kind of sticky, which might be a good thing. I don't know. But the reason I did that was, which I am going to do my best to figure out a way to get the inside of those braces painted when I paint the underside of the bed. But since this is going to be, that bottom, that washer is going to be sitting flush, that would be bare metal exposed. I try to cover everything I can, and there we go. Bolt goes in, and I bet if I draw that down tight, it can't go nowhere, anywhere that is. Matter of fact, well, okay, first thing we need to do is to start tack welding this on. I'm going to leave this a little high here, and then we'll be able to grind this down after we weld it. Grind this down, blend it in, and kind of level this back up with body filler, but there won't be any body filler on this surface where the bolt is. We don't want that. So I'm going to leave this just like it is, and I'm going to mount the camera on a tripod, and we're going to do a little bit of welding and grinding, and that's pretty much going to do it. And then we'll try to see what it looks like after I draw the bed down tight. Alright, there it is, all ground down and ready for a little body filler to fill in these low areas and kind of blend this in and get that level. See, this is extremely low, but remember, I had that fixed and then I ground it back out because it got hot, the body filler that is. But the bolt goes in there pretty nice, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab a nut and a wrench, wherever that may be. Oops, almost fell off. And let's see, here we go. Here's a 3/4 wrench. Let's see, there is, you can see there's a little bit of gap under there, which that'll be pulled down. But you can, if you look in there, don't know how well you're gonna be able to see with the light, but you can see my spacer in there. And what we'll do is get under here. And there's my boat. I might not be able to do this one-handed sometimes. There we go. But sometimes it's hard to get that nut started one-handed. Brake line's kind of in the way. Glad I went with the stainless steel lines. If you can see them up in there, they're still nice, brand new looking. Regular, cheaper steel lines will rust away in no time. Now, let's see if we can get this draw down tight. At least as tight as my one hand in an awkward position can get. Oh, this is hard to do one-handed. Probably should shut the camera off, but I'm going to try not to. Pulling it down. Okay, we're starting to snug it down now. Okay. Let me switch arms here. Even though the camera is meant to be held, the big fuel tank in the way makes it really hard to get to this nut. Gotta be careful doing it one-handed. Don't drop the wrench on your face too. Oh, that hurts. I've done it before. Does not feel good. Okay, we're getting it pretty darn tight, which we can tighten it as much as we want. That spacer is not going to let it pull the bolt and sink it down into the bed. At least it shouldn't. Okay, I'm getting some pretty decent leverage with my wrist because my arm is locked against the frame. So we're getting it pretty darn tight. Feels pretty solid. Okay. Now, it's hard to do holding a camera. And I think it's turning out okay. Oh yeah. Pull the boat down pretty nice and flush. And I'm happy with that. Yeah, oh yeah. Stick up a little high there, but we can we'll do something about that. Maybe grind this side down a little bit or something. Or draw it down tighter. Probably will do it, but it is not going to pull that bed down or sink the boat into the bed with that spacer. And after I get all the body work done and this bed flipped over before I paint the bottom, I'm going to see if I can't figure out a way to get some spacers like it in all these boat holes. I think it's a really good reinforcement idea to keep from crushing these braces like I said before. We'll see how that works out. But anyway, I'm going to call this a video. Get this camera situated here. I just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for my new subscribers. We almost have 600 subscribers now. I'm kind of glad to see that. And like I said, I haven't been advertising on Facebook or anything like that. I have a Facebook account, but I never go to it. Maybe I should start posting photos and alerts on videos for my projects, just to get a little more subscribers and more people. I get the funner YouTube is. The more people that watch and comment, at least the good comments. I've had very, very few negative comments, so I shouldn't complain about those at all. Block and delete. That's the beauty of that. Sometimes I wish I could do that in person with people I work with. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll try to get another video on whatever we gotten done on this by next weekend. Thanks a lot.